don't know who's up right now. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? It's like 2:15 in the AM on this side. It's probably 5 something on the east. But way earlier in the far east. I wanted to read some things and get into just some spiritual stuff. You know what I mean? I want to share this out. 1 second. 1 second there. Cool. Well, before I even read that, let me just say a few things. Oftentimes when I make the videos, and I'm gonna try to keep my voice down because it's, you know what I mean, it's early out here, so, or late depending upon how you see it. Yeah, a lot of times when I make the videos, when I do the teachings, I do my best to focus on information and things that can be proven, that don't necessarily always are dealing with or heavily leaning on the spiritual side of things, or things that may not be tangible. And that's mainly because when I first started, making the videos and doing the teachings, it's hard for people to believe. You know what I mean? It sounded so far out and so unbelievable that that people is just like, ah. So I had to bring some factual things, something that they could go look up for themselves and see and be, oh man, why it's in the dictionary, or here's an actual document from the FBI, or this, that, and the third, so that it would be believable. That being said, I wanted to talk about some spiritual stuff. I wanted to build on the spiritual side of things. So, I'll read first from this here. The Alchemy of Happiness by Ghazali. Let me read just the back real quick. The Alchemy of Happiness is widely considered one of the key works of mystical Islam, from the pen of one of its greatest theologians. With its wise and warmly humanistic outlook, this powerful little book asks that you undertake self-examination in order to deepen your connection with God. The mystical poet Rumi, who lived 100 years later, is said to have been greatly moved by Al-Ghazali, and in his own works paid particular homage to the master's powerful use of allegory. Yeah, I ain't gonna go to the rest. I'm gonna just get to reading this. This part is from chapter 4, page 51. In the heart of the enlightened man, there is a window opening on the realities of the spiritual world, so that he knows, not by hearsay or traditional belief, but by actual experience, what produces wretchedness or happiness in the soul just as clearly and decidedly as the physician knows what produces sickness or health in the body. The enlightened man recognizes that knowledge of God and worship are medicinal, and that ignorance and sin are deadly poisons for the soul. He recognizes that knowledge of God and worship are medicinal, good for the soul, and that ignorance and sin are deadly poisons. Then there's this other part where it get deep on page 43. Hello. It says, while man is in this world, two things are necessary for him, or her, man as in human beings, not just men. First, the protection and nurture of his soul. Secondly, the care and nurture of his body. First, the protection and nurture of the soul, then the care and the nurture of the body. I thought that was key. The proper nourishment of the soul, as above shown, is the knowledge and love of God. And to be absorbed in love of anything but God is the ruin of the soul. That's a deep line. Let me read that one more time. The proper nourishment of the soul is the knowledge and love of God, and to be absorbed in the love of anything but God. To be absorbed in the love of anything but God. We're getting real here, talking about what's good for the soul now. It's like if you're absorbed in loving money, you're absorbed in loving women, you're absorbed in loving fame, it ruins the soul. And the body, so to speak, is simply the riding animal of the soul and perishes while the soul endures. The soul should take care of the body, just as a pilgrim on his way to Mecca takes care of his camel. But if the pilgrim spends his whole time in feeding and adorning his camel, the caravan will leave him behind and he will perish in the desert. Al-Ghazali, boy, the alchemy of happiness. Check that one out. I see some people got up in here. What's happening with everybody? Peace to everybody. Peace, peace, peace. We just if you're just getting in here now, just going over some spiritual stuff. You feel me? Just got into the alchemy of happiness, Al-Ghazali. And we definitely finna get into this. Peace, 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 peace. Y'all up early in the well, over here it's 2:30ish, so it's late according to some people, but wherever you are, peace to you. Thank you for tapping in. I just wanted to get into something that was a little more spiritual, a little less to do with trying to prove facts or, provide documentation, things like that. So I just wanted to get into something in the Quran. I didn't have anything particular. You know what I mean? I got a lot of, I don't know if you can see these. I'll show you guys a little bit. I got a lot of notes, you know what I'm saying? And I take reading, which is key when you're studying. Something I learned in college. Take notes all in the side. You know what I mean? Don't feel hesitant about marking up your book. Write questions, exclamation points, whatever you can to help you receive the information better. One moment. Well, I opened up the book and it's on religion. So I wanted to, let's talk about this that I find interesting. First 3 lines of this chapter, religion, mainly because, when we speak about Noah Ali being a prophet, some Muslims and other people just get offended because some Muslim, well, most Muslims, well, most Muslims and, Islam as we know it today, they believe that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the final and last messenger. And so the idea of saying that there was a prophet after Muhammad is kind of like going against, not even kind of, it is going against what they believe. And so it's, it can be taken as offensive. And with that, they sometimes, I feel, don't even get into the information that Noble Ali brought and discredit the information because they discredit Noble Ali because we call him a prophet. And I feel like this chapter called religion clarifies that for anybody, be it Muslim or Christians who believe, some Christians who believe, Jesus was the Son of God, et cetera, et cetera. So, and just the Bible, and they working from that. So I just want to read the first three lines of chapter 35. And this is the Koran, Circle 7. Follow along if you got it at home. Get the church say, I'm just kidding, I'm messing around. There's but one Allah, the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. That right there, I feel like if Muslims hear that, they say, all right, we right there. You know what I'm saying? That line right there does not go against anything that's in the Quran. Because there is just one Allah. That's it. And Allah is just the Arabic name for God. Some people say Jah, Yahweh, the Most High, the All, Supreme Being, etc. Line 2. The sun is not Allah, though his noblest image. He enlightened the world with his brightness. His warmth giveth life to the products of the earth. Admire him as the creature, the instrument of Allah, but worship him not. And this line is deep because I feel like this is clarifying to, our brothers and sisters of the Kybalion tradition who may have worshipped that literal sun in the sky. This goes to our brothers and sisters who are Christian, who may worship Jesus, the Son of God. And it just doubles down to clarify with Muslims that we don't believe that Jesus was the Son of God, or that we should worship Jesus, or that we should worship Noble Ali. And it's another part in there that Jesus himself says, don't even worship me, but I'm not even trying to get there. And then the last line, or just the third line rather of the chapter, to the one who is supreme, most wise and beneficent, and to him alone belong worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praise. I mean, now, if it was any sort of like, I'm not sure about these Moors, that line right there, I feel like is like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam, my brother. You know what I mean? A sister. You feel me? We're on the same page. You know what I mean? I know it may seem a little different when you hear us say Prophet Noble Ali, or we talking about Quran Circle 7, and it's like, whoa, it's only one Quran, which is true. This is not to clarify that, this is not a replacement of the Quran that was brought by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Not at all. This is, well, let me not say, I'll just read it, because man knows not by being told. This is the genealogy of Jesus with 18 years of the events, lives, and works and teachings in India, Europe, and Africa. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. So that's what this book is mainly about. And then there's some pieces at the end that are just wisdom that I feel like we should all be studying. I see a couple more people trickle in, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. It's real early for y'all to be up. What's happening? Islam to Nicolene Davis. What's happening? Fahim, Maryland Territory. What's happening? Stefan Roberson. What's happening? How y'all feeling tonight or today, this morning? Y'all cool? I'm really just looking at random stuff in the Quran and building on it. If y'all had anything you wanted me to touch on, spiritually related, not necessarily how do I proclaim my nationality or legal stuff, none of that, but anything for the spirit, I'm interested in. Peace, peace, peace. Hey, yeah, peace. Good morning. Good morning. Let me see what else is in here. Let's see what's in here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. 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 I think I got something else. It's a line I like to go over a lot. Um, peace, 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 peace. You know, you're talking about spiritual. Mm. Mm. You're talking about spiritual. Um, I'm reading chapter 10. Jesus spoke on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. Um, and sometimes you may hear me in the videos refer to God or Allah as a few different names. And I do my best to do that so that people that are listening may not get thrown off or feel, just feel a little off put by me saying Allah. You know what I mean? Because you're not used to hearing that, and you think, oh, that's just for the Muslims, or that's just for the people over there. That don't got nothing to do with God, but it's just literally just different names. And when I read, I'd always felt like that, but when I read this piece, the first time I read this book, I was just like, oh my God, how come nobody is saying this? You know what I mean? Like when I read this piece, I was like, man, this dude Drew Ali is that dude. Well, really, it's Jesus, but I'm saying, yeah, Drew Ali brought the information. Anyways, let me read it. All people worship Allah, the One, but all the people see Him not alike. I'm skipping down a little bit. Man names the part of Allah he sees, and this to him is all of Allah. And every nation sees a part of Allah, and every nation had a name for Allah. You Brahmins call him Padabrahm. In Egypt, he is Thoth. This is his name in Greece. Zeus, I think, is supposed to say. Zeus is his name in Greece. Jehovah is his Hebrew name. But everywhere he is the causeless cause, the rootless root from which all things have grown. And see, when I read that line right there, 9:19 in chapter 10, it says, but everywhere he is the causeless cause, the rootless root from which all things have grown. So it don't matter what name you calling God, you know what I mean, or Allah. If you're around some people that is calling the supreme being, the creator, the all, a different name, you don't have to get into a bickering, fighting match over, no, it's Allah. I'm telling you, it's Jah. Relax. Take it easy. Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? God know. You know what I mean? And even I take it a step outside of this when it comes to something like praying. Um, what's the proper prayer? You know, there's a Moorish American prayer. There are prayers that Muslims do. There are prayers that Sikhs do. There are prayers that Christians do, and Catholics, and they're definitely organized prayers. However, if you talk to God, how you talk to God, the message will get there. Sometimes the prayer for me is, hey, God, check it out, man. You feel me? Just one time. That's it. No words even got to be said. God get the message. You don't think God get the message? You know what I mean? So that's a bit of a tangent, but basically what I'm saying is It's really about the heart. You know what I'm saying? It is good to know, some of the proper names that God has been identified in terms of history and culture. It is important, but you know, don't get lost in the little small details of that. Mm, mm. I just flipped to another page. Allah lives not in the noise of tongues. There is no way to him from any idol shrine. Allah's meeting place with man is in the heart. Mm, there you go. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Did anyone have any peace? Oh man, a couple more people in here. What's happening? Hashim, assalamu alaikum, salaikum salam, brother. Tarif, Islam, peace. What's happening? And sometimes this is another thing. Sometimes, or when you hear me start off the video, peace. It's just another way of me saying Islam without it just kind of like coming off. Because sometimes, we Moors, we saying Islam for everything. Islam. Yeah. So it's like, sometimes you just switch it up. So peace is just sometimes it come off a little easier. So that's between you and I. Don't tell nobody. Let me see what else we got going on. I actually didn't want to be on here too long, but just wanted to, I guess, speak on what was kind of on my heart. Let's see what else we got going on. Once again, we just going over some different spiritual stuff. I read earlier, The Alchemy of Happiness, Al-Ghazali. Very important book. I say check it out. Doing a little reading out of this. Koran Circle 7. Let me see what else we got here. Yeah, I think we may end on this one. I like this one. I like this one a lot. This is coming out of chapter 3. Elihu's Lessons, the Unity of Life. And earlier in the chapter, it talks about the higher self and the lower self. That we got two selves within us. The higher self is the human spirit clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah. The lower self, the carnal self, the body of desires, is a reflection of the higher self, distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. And then, towards the end of the chapter, very powerful to me, says the only devil, the only devil from which men must be redeemed is self, the lower self. If man would find his devil, he must look within. Come on, man. Come on now. The only devil. And I'm partly bringing this up because I was listening to a clip of this brother Rizza Islam. And, much love to the NOI brothers and sisters out there, or the sisters and brothers in the NOI. Man, I love many things about the NOI. I love pretty much everyone that I've ever seen that really represents the NOI. The way they speak is really inspiring. It's always very knowledgeable, very powerful. But one thing that always kind of rubs me the wrong way is when, they get to talking about the devil, you know what I mean? And some of them, echoing, the white man is the devil. And even outside of the NOI, just people who associate devil to European people. And it's like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like I understand that perspective. It's not that I don't understand it, but it's just not the answer. You know what I mean? And this line right here makes it so much clearer. The only devil is self, the lower self. If you're looking for the devil, you gotta look within. See, that put the responsibility in right there. Not many people want to do that. Look in the mirror. Who said that? If you want to make a change, somebody said that. Make a man in the mirror. Something. Some guy that sung that song a long time ago. His name Man in the Mirror is this song. I can't remember his name. Anyways, you gotta look within. You know what I mean? That is the real key to it all, because when you stop, it's that devil and you really operate on yourself. You get all the devilness about yourself first. Then you start to see the world change all around and transform all around you. Just speaking from experience, just following what the teaching. Then the next line after that, if man will find his savior, he must look within. Oh, come on now. The devil is within, and the savior is within. Come on now. That's deep. That requires some meditation. Oh, you know what? We'll do that. Since we on the spiritual and y'all tapped in early with me, what's happening with y'all? I seen some people. I ain't gonna stay on this too long. 2:43, man. Y'all up early. What's happening, y'all? What's happening? I appreciate y'all tapped in. Yes, indeed. That Mikael Jackson. You know what I mean? One of my favorite songs is Man in the Mirror. And also They Don't Care About Us. Oh my goodness. Man, Mike was a revolutionary for real. I'm getting off track. Hold on one second. I seen somebody else hop in. I'm trying to say what's up to everybody I be seeing. Hard King Bay, peace, Hashim, Omar. Yeah, see, peace. Meditation. Because we talking about going within. You want to find the devil, gotta look within. If you want to find a savior, gotta look within. Man. But I wanted to read real quick a chapter about meditation. Just give me a second. I'm going off, kind of winging it here. I like doing that these days. It's a little more. Yeah, silence and the wisdom. There you go. Boom. And so I'm reading out of the beat up Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. And this is chapter 12. It says, Joshua explains to Casper the meaning of silence and the wisdom of Allah and man. And, well, yeah, I can read that. Yeah, I'll read most of it. Now, in the early morning, Joshua came again to teach and heal. A light not comprehended shone about as though some mighty spirit overshadowed him. A Magnus noted this and asked him privately to tell from whence his wisdom came and what is the meaning of the light. Joshua said, there is a silence where the soul may meet its God Allah, and there the fount of wisdom is, and all who enter are immersed in light and filled with wisdom, love, and power. Sorry, 1 second. That actually, I haven't read this in a while. I'm sorry, I'm a little sidetracked. But in the Quran, it says the universal law is wisdom, will, and love. And here it's saying you'll be filled with wisdom, love, and power. So not quite the exact same, but will and power is something about that will and power, power. I feel like power is the illusion. I'm getting off track. I'll find that later. Where was I at? Got it. And all who enter are immersed in light and filled with wisdom, love, and power. The Magnus said, tell me about this silence and this light, that I may go and there abide. And Yahshua said, the silence is not circumscribed. It is not a place closed in with walls or rocky steeps, nor guarded by the swords of man. Men carry with them all the time the secret place where they meet Allah. Ooh, so if you're not understanding what's going on, Yahshua is out there teaching and healing. This wise teacher was peeping Yahshua, Jesus, Isa, and he had this crazy light around him. So he asked him privately, like, yo, what's up with the light, man? What's, you know what I mean? Help me out. What's happening? And Jesus is like, yo, it's a place you go. It's real silent. And there you get the wisdom and the fount. And then boom, you get the light. And you moving like that. And my man is like, all right, cool. But where's that? Where do I go? Because I'm trying to get that light. You feel me? And Jesus like, nah, you missing the point. It's not a place you go. It's not like the temple way up in Tibet somewhere, up in the rocky steeps, and it's not guarded by a bunch of sworded men. Nah, you gotta go within. You feel me? Like this shit. Men carry with them all the time the secret place where they meet Allah. It matters not where men abide, on a mountaintop, in a deep valley, in the marts of trade, or in a quiet home. They may at one time fling wide the door of the soul and find the house of Allah. It is within the soul. The house of Allah is within the soul. That's deep. That's deep. And you can get there no matter where you at. In the market, it's super busy. It's quiet at home. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, man. Let me finish. One may not be so much disturbed by noise of business and words and thoughts of men. It goes, if one may not be so much disturbed by noise of business and words and thoughts of men. It goes all alone into the valley or the mountain pass. Yeah, that sentence is kind of trippy. Let me read that one more time. One may not be so much disturbed by noise of business and words and thoughts of men. It goes all alone into the valley or the mountain pass. And when life's heavy load is pressing hard, it is far better to go out and seek a quiet place to pray and meditate. The silence of the kingdom of the soul, which is not seen by human eyes. Ooh, and this I'm going to read the rest of this part. When in silence, phantom forms may flit before the mind, but they are all subservient to the will. The master soul may speak, and they are gone. If you would find the silence of the soul, you must yourself prepare the way. None but the pure in heart may enter here. And you must lay aside all fears and doubts and troubled thoughts. Your human will must be absorbed by love divine. Then you will come into a consciousness of the holy breath. Man. And then it breaks down into some other stuff. I ain't going to get into all of that. But this book is deep, man. I haven't, obviously I haven't read it in a while, because when I started reading this, some things that started hitting me. I need to study on my own a little bit more. So I might put this one back for a little while. I gotta do some more reading. But I really advise you to go check out the Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. But first, read the Holy Koran, Circle 7. Gotta read that. I've seen a couple more people. Man, I've been on here for 35. I'll be on here for a little longer. Peace, 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 man. I really appreciate y'all tapping in. I just felt it in my soul. You know what I mean? Felt that the spirit was like, man, talk on something spiritual tonight. You know what I mean? I said I was literally actually keep it 1,000. I was headed to the bed. I was like, man, I'll do it in the morning. But I said, you know what? Nah, man, you feel good. Turn it on. See what's going on. Peace, peace, peace. Let me see what else is in here. And if, because I'm just going off of I just opening the random pages. If you guys had, or people, women, men, if you had anything spiritual that you wanted me to speak on, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna just keep flipping around the random stuff. Peace to Akasha. Peace, peace, peace to Keisha. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Peace, peace, peace. You know what? This book was looking at me. The Kybalion. I'll read a little bit of this real quick. Let's see here. I think I found one. Yeah. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about. Nah, I ain't trying to get too controversial on that one. Nah, yeah, we're gonna go with it, keeping it real around it right now. We're talking about the principle of gender, and this is the Kybalion Hermetic philosophy. I don't know if you can see that right there. Boom, right there. What immediately came to mind when I read this was Jay-Z. Man shouldn't be jealous. That's a female trait. And then I'm gonna just read this chapter. This principle embodies the truth that there is gender manifested in everything, the masculine and feminine principles ever at work. This is true not only of the physical plane, but of the mental and even the spiritual planes. On the physical plane, the principle manifests as sex, male or female gender. On the higher planes, it takes higher forms, but the principle is ever the same. No creation, physical, mental, or spiritual, is possible without this principle. An understanding of its laws will throw light on many a subject that has perplexed the minds of men. The principle of gender works ever in the direction of generation, regeneration, and creation. Everything and every person contains the two elements or principles, or this great principle within it, him or her. Every male thing has the female element. Also, every female contains also the male principle. If you would understand the philosophy of mental and spiritual creation, generation, and regeneration, you must understand and study this Hermetic principle. It contains the solution of many mysteries of life. This book is deep, man. This book is deep. You know, what immediately came to mind is, just the idea of, men, you acting like a right now, or you acting like a real female, you acting soft, you acting like a girl. you crying like a little, you know what I'm saying? And that whole mentality that, um, the men are supposed to be men and just masculine. Which is kind of, I mean, when I read this, I'm like, man, that's profound. But on a very simple level, we are all made from man and yeah, man and a woman. I was gonna say, well, in certain, the test tubes and new ways you can create. But even if you do that, it still has to have male energy, male Yaminsky and the female Yaminsky. You got to put it together. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, I was talking to my daughter about that because I was saying how much she looked like her mom, and she was like, oh, I was like, well, it's kind of how you create it. Got some part of your mom and some part of me, put it together, the DNA, boom. You know what I mean? And if you just really think on it on a very basic level, we have to have both energies in us because it took both energies to create us. Simple. Um, but a lot of times in society we can get conditioned to believe otherwise. Likewise with women, oh, that's too that's for boys, you can't play the sports, that's not what girls do, that's not ladylike, that's not womanly. You're acting like a tomboy. You know what I mean? One of my first best friends was my homegirl Maxine, who was, seen as a tomboy, for most of the years that I knew her growing up, first grade. But to me, Maxine was super cool because she was raw at every sport. Like to me, that was just a cool, like, yo, you're a girl, but you like video games and you raw at kickball and basketball. I like, oh man. Yeah, man. I'm just, just basically I'm saying I think that we need to do a better job of accepting that everyone has these energies within them. Um, and that goes on a basic level as um, as complex as the LBGTQ community and where society is going with uh, the different kinds of yeah, gender, I think is the term, how you identify with your gender versus your sex. I'm not, to be quite honest, I'm kind of ignorant on all of that. Um, but I do recognize that, you know, it's not as simple as we may have been conditioned to believe it. Let me just say it like that. And so I think that sometimes if you take a step back and really think about things, it can help to go to understanding why some people may be a certain way. Maybe those people are just embracing more of the energies within themselves. I don't know. It's a different perspective. With hope, with love, that we can hear people out, get a better understanding of each other. Because we got to uplift all of humanity. All of humanity. I've seen some more people tapping in. Alchemy is about the mind rather than materials. Oh, let's see what else is going on. Tapping in, tapping in. Peace, 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 peace. Word, word. Peace, Moonflower Anderson. Peace, Jamal Cooper. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, Al Scruggs. And I know, that may be hard for some people to even hear and even be willing to consider. I get it. You know what I mean? But man, we gotta grow. We gotta understand it that that it's not just gonna be one way. You know what I mean? You want it to be one way, but it's the other way. That's from the wire. If you ain't know what that was, I'm just messing around. Let me see. I'm gonna get back. Well, actually, let me get to one more principle. If you don't know what the Kybalion is, maybe I'll read a little bit about that. No, actually, you just look it up. If you don't know, just look it up. I don't get into all that. But it's a very important book. And if you're wondering how is this connected to Moors, well, this is supposed to come from this teacher, wise being named Thoth, Thoth. And Thoth is one of the names for God that's listed in the Quran. How did Drew Ali know about this? You guy's a wise dude, man. And it's 7. What do you know? Thank you, Omar. What a coinkydink. Just by happenstance, huh? Hmm? Hmm? Let me see. Oh. Yeah. Yes. I like this one. I'm gonna get right here. Yeah. Here we go right here. This chapter is called chapter 4, the all. And the all is the term they use to describe what we call God, Allah, Jah, without necessarily getting into a specific religion, because the all encompasses everything, because the all is the all. There's nothing more than the all, which works very well for God. There's nothing more. Anyways, let me get to the part. We accept and teach the view of great Hermetic thinkers of all times, as well as those illumined souls who have reached higher planes of being, both of whom assert that the inner nature of the all is unknowable. This must be, for nothing but the all itself can comprehend its own nature and being. Nothing but God itself, nothing but God can comprehend God's own nature and being. Understand that nothing but Allah alone can comprehend its own nature and being. The Hermetists believe and teach that the all, God, Allah, in itself is and must ever be unknowable. They regard all the theories, guesses, and speculations of the theologians and metaphysicians regarding the inner nature of the all as but the childish efforts of mortal minds to grasp the secret of the infinite. Oh, and I'm coming back to the Quran in just a second. Such efforts have always failed and will always fail from the very nature of the task. One pursuing such inquiries travels around and around in a labyrinth of thought until he is lost to all sane reasoning, action, or conduct, and is utterly unfitted for the work of life. He is like the squirrel, which frantically runs around and around, circling the treadmill wheel of his cage, traveling ever and ever and ever, yet reaching nowhere. At the end, a prisoner still, and standing just where he started. I'm going to just put a stop right there. And then, that back, if we want to get the simplified version, no finite mind can comprehend things infinite. Hey, man. It's very simple. Our finite minds cannot comprehend God. We can try to do our best to understand parts of them, the parts that we see, the parts that we're allowed to see and understand, but we will never be able to truly understand and comprehend all that God is, because God is infinite and our mind is not. His mind is finite. There was a time when we was born. There's a time when we must, you know what I'm saying? Now, this is the key though. There is a piece of us in everybody, deep inside there, somewhere up in there, that is infinite. But it's not even actually us, that piece. It's in us, but it's not us. That's kind of deep. Deep in my opinion. What you think? I should have been asked y'all what y'all think. I've been talking and just rambling on. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, Amir. Peace, peace, peace. Anybody got any thoughts? I kind of feel like I'm rambling. Does it make sense? Don't make no sense at all? Gotta run it back, Rami? Nothing? I'll keep going for a little bit longer. Go for the hour. We almost there. 3:07. Yeah, what's happening? DJ Money, what's happening? Peace, peace, peace. Everything you look for is under your nose. You know what's funny about that? It's funny you mentioned that. Omar, I was just looking at... Wow, what was just looking at it? I was just looking at this right here. This is one of my favorite books for like multiple reasons. It's an amazing book. If you haven't read it, this is The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho. Amazing book. It's something that I found so funny when I read this book, because I read this book before it was like right around the time when I just started learning about Moors, I think. I may have just found out about Moors, but it couldn't have been that much, because I know I wasn't that aware. But then when I read back through it, I'm trying to find if I can find a page real quick. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, there we go. Oh man, every time I read it, it just makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. What did she say? What did the person say again? Everything you're looking for is under your nose. Just listen to this right here. This is page 5. The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho. I need to sell some wool, the boy told the merchant. The shop was busy, and the man asked the shepherd to wait until the afternoon. So the boy sat on the steps of the shop and took a book from his bag. I didn't know shepherds knew how to read, said a girl's voice behind him. The girl was typical of the region of Andalusia. Let me get the hold up. With flowing black hair and eyes that vaguely recalled the Moorish conquerors. Did you hear what that said? Oh. In the book, right in front of your face. Page 5. Andalusia, Moorish conquerors, all up in the grill. My favorite book. And I did not see that at all the first time I read it. Not at all. Gotta study. I tell you, man. I tell you. Andalusia, boy, I tell you. Am I making... Okay. No, I am making sense. Okay, well, I'm glad somebody think I'm making a little sense. I'm trying to do my best. Not trying, actually. I tried... Excuse me, I'm saying try as I try. I'm doing my best to eliminate try out of the vocabulary, because my wise partner TK told me. He was like, he said, Nike's slogan isn't just try it. You either doing it or you not doing it. It's just that simple. And I said, you're right. So anytime I say try, I correct myself and I say, I'm doing my best. I'm gonna work towards it. You know what I mean? Something that's different than try. I think I may be wrapping it up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to the do one more of these and then I'm gonna close it up. Yeah, yeah, strive. Yeah, strive. That's another good one, Amir. Strive instead of saying try. And another way that I think about when you say try is that the past tense of try is that you tried, meaning that you wasn't successful. It was an attempt. You know what I mean? So I avoid saying try if I can. Yeah. Peace, peace, peace. Sometimes you have to read things 3 times to actually understand or get everything that was meant to understand in its entirety. True. On that, before I get to the, since you said that, oh man, look at how the universe works. Look at how the universe works. This right here is the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean. Hey now, that gets even deeper. We're not even gonna get into all of that. But the reason I'm getting this is that, what did it say? Let me see 1 second here. Man, see, I wish, I'm trying not to, excuse me, not try, but I don't want to just tell it to you. You know, for man knows not by being told, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it off the random like that, and I don't think I have it highlighted. But in this book, it says something to the effect of, you won't be able to understand. Yeah, like you have to read this book 100 times before you will begin to unlock the wisdom that's within it. So, you know, I definitely feel you on reading things over and over and over again. And honestly, this book is too deep for me. Like, I started reading it, and some of the stuff was just like, it was too much for me to even kind of comprehend. So I was just like, man, I got to get back to it. I ain't been back to it like I need to be, but that's another story. Anyway, let me get back to the Quran before I close it on out. Any other questions? I really appreciate y'all tapping in. I honestly didn't, I wasn't expecting nobody really tap in with me this early in the morning, but I appreciate it. Oh, peace, man. Say El Musa. Peace. I'm not really gonna shout out the whole name, but Jamie, what's happening? Yeah, this is true. That it is the same. Thank you for picking that book up. I appreciate it. Let me just get to this book right here. I'm gonna find that page in the Emerald Tablets just because I want to find it for myself. Questions? Yeah, just any questions? I was gonna say before I read a couple more things and close it out. Was there any questions? Spiritual questions? You know what I mean? I try to do these lives and just take questions in general about Moors and Moorish movement, you know, just different things that people may want to ask, um, and hear a direct response. Uh, but this one, I really wanted to just speak on spiritual teachings and getting into the Quran more. So if there was any questions you had in terms of that kind of stuff, feel free. If not, it's all love. I'm gonna just flip to some random stuff, and then close it out from there. And the biggest thing is I got a lot of stuff underlined and a lot of notes, so sometimes it's kind of challenging on where to start. Boom, maybe we'll start right there. Chapter 26, and this is from the Quran. If you got it, you can follow along. Chapter 26. Line 5 and 6. Says, "Yet be not puffed up in thy own conceit, neither boast of superior understanding. The clearest human knowledge is but blindness and folly. The wise man filleth his imperfections and is humbled." That right there, when I read those two, well, let me backtrack. When I first found out about Moors and this whole, not even Noah Ali, but just the idea of these African people called Moors ruling Europe. When I found out about that, I was really humbled because I had grown up believing that I was just, you know, pretty smart person, and got good grades and blah 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 blah. And so to find out this, it was just like, damn, you ain't no shit. Excuse my language, but that's how I felt. And then further, when I got to reading this and learning about Drew Ali, and I got to this chapter, and it's like, man, don't boast in no superior understanding. You know what I mean? Like, chill. And that's a bit difficult. It's a bit challenging. At least for myself, I'll say, when I first started learning this information, because it's like, yeah, I know this, you know what I mean? But you really got to humble yourself. You know what I mean? You really, or at least I'll say for myself, humbling myself has helped me learn so much more. It helps me to listen, helps me to be more patient with what I'm going to say, or when I think I understand something, let me think about that again. Let me run that back one more time. Do I really know what I'm talking about? Does this make sense? Let me check a different perspective. You know what I mean? And that comes from humbling yourself and knowing that, man, you don't know everything. You know what I mean? So relax. And then especially where it says, well, see, it keeps going. Let me read the rest of the sentence. "The wise man filleth his imperfections and is humbled. He laboreth in vain for his own approbation." Approbation? APPROBATION. Let me look that. I'm almost sure I know what that word means, but since we on here, I could just show you what happens when I'm studying by myself. And if it's a word that I don't know, look it up. It can be a bit irritating if you're reading a sentence and it's 15 words you don't know, because then you end up looking up 20 words just to understand that one sentence or that one paragraph. But what I've come to realize is that that's the only way you learn. And if you keep skipping over the words that you don't know and just try to guess, you're not really going to know. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, P. Yeah. Sorry, I got to go through the alphabet the whole way. APP. There you go. Approbation. Formal approval or praise. Yeah, approval. No, approve, approbate. Approve, approve, formally, sanction. Okay, yeah. Approval or praise. Okay, yeah. Okay, got it. There it goes. He laboreth, the wise man feeleth his imperfections and is humble. He laboreth in vain for his own approval, for his own praise, for his own. Okay, got it. But the fool peepeth in the shadow stream of his own mind, and is pleased with the pebbles which he's seen at the bottom, and he bring him up, and he show. Got it. That makes so much more sense now that I read that. So the wise person feeleth the imperfections and laboreth, keep working for his own approval. The fool peeps in the shadow stream of his own mind, is pleased with the little pebbles of understanding. So the fool, he see the little pebbles of understanding, be like, yeah, let me pick that up. Let me show it to everybody. It say, and showeth them as pearls, and with the applause of his brethren delighteth himself. See, and so the fool, that's what makes the fool happy. Is like, yeah, I'm gonna show off these pebbles like they pearls, and I'm gonna get, yeah, you the man, you smart, yeah, looking like a fool. That was me. You know what I mean? So you gotta humble yourself. And then in my notes, I don't know, see if you can see that. But in my notes, I put check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You feel me? Study to show yourself approved, y'all. Yeah, approval. Yeah. Oh, we got some questions. Goodness gracious, we got a little paragraph. Let me run this. Do you consider indigenous natives to the Americas Moors as well? Indigenous natives to the Americas. To answer the question, it's not necessarily that I consider them, but it's that's who they are or who we are. I think there is a misunderstanding, and there's this division in our minds that quote unquote Native Americans or quote unquote indigenous natives and Moors are separate people, and it's not the case. Spiritual question. All right. If we the ones that got permission from the Pharaoh to settle in the Northwest, were we the ones that didn't want to be held like as indentured servants? That's a great question. I'm not quite sure, honestly. And that's in part talking about feeling my own imperfections. Part of my ignorance is I don't know the Bible well. I wasn't raised in the church or studied the Bible like that. So a lot of the stories and a lot of the religious aspect, I don't know well enough to have the picture, at least from the Bible perspective, and what was going on with the pharaohs of Egypt and Joshua and all of that. I don't know. So my bad. But gonna work on studying it. Islam, peace. Let me read a couple more. Goodness gracious. Then I got to go. Even my voice sound a little tired. But I thank y'all for tapping in, man. It's 3:30 on my side. I'm not sure where everybody where's people from. If I could ask that, you could tap in where y'all from. So, or where you guys at right now? Maybe not necessarily where you're from, but where you at right now, so I kind of get an idea what's going on, James. What time it is? I seen somebody was from Baltimore, I think Maryland, St. Louis. What's happening? St. Louis. In the low, I'm trying to get out there. Not trying. I will be getting out there, because there's a Noble Drew Ali Way, I think it is, or Avenue, in St. Louis somewhere. So I got to get out there and take a picture. Georgia, what's happening? Top of the morning to you out there in that good old Georgia. Phoenix, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? 6:30. Okay, so that early morning, California. Oh man, see, oh man, y'all up on the late night tip with me. What's happening on the Cali tip? Yeah. What's happening? What's happening? New York in the house. What's happening, Will? Baltimore in the house. California in the house. What's happening? Um. Hmm. 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 This is something that I read that I found really interesting. Um, in the chapter Master and Servant in the Koran, Circle 7, it's the line, um, it's a line 7 and 8. Actually, I'll read 6 through 8. And thou who art a master, be just to thy servant if thou expecteth from him fidelity, and reasonable in thy commands if thou expecteth ready obedience. The spirit of a man is in him. Severity and rigor may create fear, but can never command love. Mix kindness with reproof, and reason with authority. So shall thy admonitions take place in his heart, and his duty shall become his pleasure. And so this chapter is a little weird because it says master and servant, and I don't think anyone's walking, at least that I know, walking around in 2018. Well, actually, there are some servants, but I don't necessarily know if they call the people they work for master. But I think of it more from a employer employee uh, perspective, and if you are a boss, and you're trying to have your employee, what I mean, have fidelity, which is like stick with you. I should look that up. Damn it. I'm on live. I was gonna say I ain't gonna look it up, but y'all caught me on live, so now I gotta look it up because I don't know exactly what it means. You gotta practice what you preach. You know what I'm talking about? And that's another thing I found in learning all of this stuff. When you talk about being a Moor, it puts some responsibility on you because now there's some structure, there's some principles that you can be held to. You know what I mean? When you say that you're black or you're African American, there's nothing really that you can look towards and say, oh, okay, this is what we can kind of judge the people by and understand if they are being honorable or not. More, we're talking about love, true peace, freedom, and justice. You're talking about you got to walk it, you got to talk it. Anyways, fidelity. Faithful to a person, cause, belief, demonstrated by continually loyal and support. Cool. All right, man. Yeah, so try reading this master and servant chapter and thinking of it from a employer-employee perspective. And even to me, from a parent perspective, parent-child perspective, in the sense of severity and rigor may create fear, but can never command love. And in the sense that, you can be severe with your punishment and, chastising your children, and it will create fear, but I don't know if that's the solution or if that will produce the result that you are going for. And I know, at least for myself, um, I was raised on some fear, you know what I mean? And fearing of getting in trouble, fearing of getting that swooping, you know what I mean? uh, but ultimately, when I reflect on it, I don't feel like fear really helps in the long run. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. But it also in this book it says it here, which is, what I mean. I saw that. Reverence trumps fear, in my opinion. I feel that as well. hmm Peace, peace, peace. Yeah, peace, peace, peace. Man, I'm glad, oh man, I appreciate it, man. This is cool, man. Yeah, I will say that there's nothing that happens by accident. I do feel like everybody that was tapped in right now was tapped in for a reason. You know what I mean? To hear this message. And I'm glad that I really listened to the voice within, because sometimes, well, no, a lot of times, I feel like we can hear that voice and we get a little nervous, we get a little scared. Um, we don't want to be bothered by the voice. We may think that voice inside us is tripping. You know what I mean? What do you mean start a little live at 2 something in the morning? What do you mean? That's who gonna be tapping in right now? That really gonna be helpful? Yeah, go for it. You know what I mean? And so that is something that I've been pushing myself to do more of in my life, is when I hear that voice, to help somebody. Um, to smile, to ask someone, how are you doing? Are you all right? You have a great day. Uh, Even if it seems weird, because you just got to go with it, man. You got to put that love in it. And I guarantee you, good things will happen. It's kind of magical like that. And I'm rambling on, so I'm gonna read a couple more. I'm gonna close it up. Um, mm, mm, I like this one. This is back from in the chapter religion, and this is something that yeah, I like this a lot. Says Allah is just and righteous, and will judge the earth with equity and truth. Hath he established his laws in goodness and mercy, and shall he not punish the transgressors thereof? O think not, bold men, because thy punishment is delayed, that the arm of Allah is weakened. Neither flatter thyself with hopes that he winketh at thy doings. His eye pierceth the secrets of every heart, and he remembereth them forever. He respecteth not the persons or the stations of men, the high and the low, the rich and the poor, the wise and the ignorant. When the soul hath shaken off the cumbrous shackles of this mortal life, shall equally receive from the sentence of just and everlasting retribution according to their works. Then shall the wicked tremble and be afraid, but the heart of the righteous shall rejoice in his judgments. Man, that's a bit heavy, but I wanted to read that because I feel like where we are in society, it can feel like and it can seem like the people that are doing the things wrong are the people that are winning, and they getting away with it. You know what I mean? They gonna get away with it. But we gotta remember that it ain't no getting away from it. It ain't no getting away with it. You may be able to, escape punishment or, you know, pull that lick and get away clean. You know what I mean? And think that's happening in this life. But at some point, you're gonna have to answer for everything you did. And this is something I explained to my daughter. Um, and I try to explain to her that, you know, to understand, yeah, you need to listen to me, but bigger than that, we all gotta own up to what we're doing with God. So, it's best you make sure that you're living right, not even just according to my standards, but according to what God is saying and doing right. Even if you think you're getting away with it with me, understand you're not gonna get away with it. You know what I mean? And explaining her, I gotta own up to mistakes I done made. You know what I mean? And that's part of why I'm doing this. You know what I mean? When all is said and done, man, I want to be on the positive side of things. You know what I mean? If you got the debits and credits, I want to have a lot more debits. I want to add a lot more change in that bank than withdrawals. You know what I mean? I want to be in the positive. Um, and I think and I also think it's key to remember that in this work we're doing, for those of us who know we're Moors and are there out there, you know, working to teach the people, you know what I mean, making those memes or those posts or sending those texts to your brother or sister or cousin saying, hey man, check this Taj dude out, you know what I mean, or sending this YouTube link, and you're not getting any thanks, or you feel like you're not receiving the gratitude, or you're not being appreciated for what you're doing, understand that you are where it counts. It's a record being kept, and to focus not on getting the praise back from the people. Don't even worry about it. Just keep putting in the work. Um, do your best to live righteous. You know, every and don't even think of it like I got to be perfect for the rest of my life. Do the best I can today. Make the best decisions I can. Help somebody. Spread a little love. Do it again tomorrow. Do it again tomorrow. You slip up, all right, cool. Double down the next day. Make that back plus a little more. Um, yeah, I think that's about all I got. I just wanted to get that off. I seen some messages. Let me see this. Peace, peace, peace. What's in the dark will always come to the light. This is true. This is true. Peace, peace, peace. Page 1 or 8 in the... Hold on. Since you said it, let me go back through there. Hold on. I was finna close it out. I don't see it on page 1. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it, man. Because I really don't like telling people stuff. I really like, if I say it, I really like to kind of like, put the fact on you. I ain't going to be able to find it today. But next time, I'm going to find that dope quote, wherever that thing is. sleeping light going down. Alright, man. I think I'm gonna get up out of here. My sister over there is snoring up a storm. I love it, man. Man, much love to everybody that's watching. Yes, you and you and you. Love to everybody. And love to the people that's finna tap in later and like, damn, I miss Robbie live. And love to the people that may not even watch this and hate no more. Love to them too. You gotta spread some love. Put some love on their heart. That's how we get it right. You gotta put the love out there, that agape kind of love. I was dealing with this European brother on that today, and how he was telling me how this black man just was like all up in his grill saying "fuck you," just like really going off and just a lot of cursing and excuse my language, excuse me. And he just kept saying, "Okay, I understand," and just kept on with the conversation, not even feeding into it. Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh man, that's how we gotta be. You can't feed. As a matter of fact, let me speak on this since it's on my heart. I seen a clip of I seen a clip of Brother Cujo. Shout out to Brother Cujo L up there in Canaan land. Of man, he was in a debate or in a discussion with I don't even remember who. I want to say it was some Hebrew Israelite possibles. I'm not sure exactly. I feel like it was Hebrew Israelite brothers, but whoever it was, he was on the line with them, and they was bringing the BS, you know what I mean, and he was doing his best, you know what I mean, to stay righteous, but you know, at a certain point when people are poking at us, sometimes it can get the better of us. We can lash out and give them a little of that, you know what I mean? But we gotta stay loving, you know what I mean? So Cool Joe, man, I understand, and all the Moors out there, trust me, I get the frustration, I get the anger, and it's just like, why is it our people this opposing us on this information? You know what I mean? That's what's so frustrating. However, they sick, they toxic, they not right. We need to love on them. You gotta put the love in it. That's the antidote. You know what I mean? If our people got hit with the venom, you know what I mean, and we all toxic and our pineal gland is calcified and all of that, love is the thing that's gonna heal us. Love is the antidote. Love is that magical elixir potion that it's the cure. And it's very difficult. I'll end with this. A lot of times when people hear me talk about love, or they hear people more speak about love, I'll see people say, you know, well, Martin Luther King was talking about love and where did it get him? Or, you know, all that love and Jesus loves, that stuff is weak, blah, blah, blah. But the truth of the matter, to love people unconditionally, to love those that hate you, to love those that are intentionally disrespecting you, disrespecting Noble Drew Ali, disrespecting our culture, our history, to love those people in that moment, you know, to put out that love towards Trump. Yes, I said it. Yeah. To put out love to those people in these times, that ain't easy. It's one of the hardest things to do. So understand, you know, that task for us to love instead of hate, it is simple, but it's complex. And it's a hell of a task. You know what I mean? But it is the way. It is the key. Love will set you free. Ooh, that was cold rhyme. Let me close out on that, man. Man, she is in that sleep, boy. I tell you. Thank you guys for tapping in. I mean, I don't really have much else to say. I didn't expect to be on this long. Anybody else? Love, love, love. We are being tested. You know what I mean? Now more than ever, and we need to put the love out there. And I'm telling you, it's magical. Just today, try it for me today. This magical. The people that's tapped in right now. If you come on late and you see this and it's not live, it's too late. I'm just messing with you. You can still try it. But this is what you do. At some point today, when you're walking or driving or traveling or riding in a train or on a bus, or on a plane, or just sitting down, just look around, and every person that your eyes see, say I love you. But don't say it out loud. Say it from your soul to their soul. Just right there. And just boom, you just hit people and just really, just real genuine love. Just, I love you and I hope your day is amazing. You right there, the old dude is feeding the birds. Yeah. Hey, little mama, I see you pushing that baby stroller with the tooth. Yes. You know what I mean? You right there tapped in right now. Yes, you too. Love you. Watch how magical it is. I know it seems a little, wow, it's tripping. But it's, trust me. Just trust me on it. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Any questions? Last questions? Last thoughts? What your boys doing up? I don't know what people doing up, but we up. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all tapping in. Yeah, the universe. Oh, I'll leave you with that, man. Um, on the universe, man. Man, I'll wrap it up with this. On another video, I was talking about Islam and how Drew Ali was breaking down Islam in the truest sense is where your hands, your tongue, and your thoughts do not harm others. And then you're at peace with God and with God's creation, or with Allah and Allah's creation. And that's like, if you can really internalize that and think about working your best, striving your best for maybe in that same hour where you're telling people that you love them internally, also not having any thoughts to enter your mind that will hurt someone else. Like, oh man, that nigga he ain't as clean as me. Or, oh man, she ain't, none of those. Not, he ugly, not, damn, she got a big ass head. Not, damn, that breath stink. None of that. You know what I mean? All positive. It's difficult. It's a challenge. But just try it for 30 minutes an hour. See what you can do. That's it, man. That's it. I hope this was helpful. I hope I wasn't just rambling too much. I'll leave off with the prayer. That's what I ended with the prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Mother of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation. By night and by day, through our holy prophet and all holy prophets. Thank you. Ashe. Peace. Oh, that was a good one, I think.